Hello everyone and welcome to week 66 of Top 5 Wrestling Animations of the Week. This was an extremely tough week for me to choose this week. I got all the animations from this week that I wanted in the top 5 because to me these were the best, but I could not decide which order I liked them the best in. So it was very tough, took me a long time to decide, but I have come to my final decision. I may look at this next week and think, oh no, that one was actually better than that one. However, you can only do this week by week, so this is the top 5 as I think it is now. The honourables first, however, is XWF with his Batista Bomb. SuplexNetwork with his Curb Stomp and RKO. And Myqee with his Missile Dropkick. Now moving into the top 5, we have ARW with his Double Moonsault. So this was really smooth and you're getting really great at that. The flips avoided the crooked issue that you've had previously also. The impact and reaction were both nice. Floor Michaels could have moved a little before the impact, I think, and I think Air Michaels' legs were a little stiff throughout. I also think Air Michaels needed a little more height to prevent the floating on the second rotation, but overall this was a very nice animation. Fourth place we have ARW once again, this time with his somersault leg drop. This was again really smooth. This one had great movements on Ricochet. The brilliant impact from both was really good to see. There was a great flow. The shadows and tack were obvious at a few points, and like previous, the person on the floor should have had some subtle movements to add a bit of life and realism. Still, I think this is one of your best, probably your best ever, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Third place this week we have LMS with his Spirit Bomb. This had really nice movements on Bo, and it was smooth throughout. I did think Goldberg was a little bit stiff, but I actually liked the contrast between the big powerhouse being stiff as if the move was just taking no effort for him, and then Bo being flung about like he's nothing, because he had some wild movements in this which looked really good, so I did kind of like that contrast. It added power to the move in my opinion. There was also a nice impact, but Bo did do this weird bounce back thing, where he landed near Bill Goldberg's feet, but then he kind of immediately bounced back like into the crotch area, which just looked a little fidgety and weird to me. I also thought the green screen keying was a little bit rough, especially on the second angle. Second place this week we have JWS with his Hell in a Cell match. This was just the usual JWS brilliance. There was a lot less heavy editing like there has been in your previous matches, which I personally love because I wasn't too much of a fan of how heavy the editing was previously. As always, this is super smooth. The cell climbing looked phenomenal, and I know that is not an easy thing to do. Some dives were too stiff for my liking, however, but everything else was super dynamic. Anything that was on the floor or while walking just looked incredible. There was quite a lot of sliding, which is just part of your style, but I'm not personally huge on it. This, however, was great, as always. First place this week we have WZW with his Salina del Sol reversal. So this was really smooth for the whole video, it had realistic movements throughout. The reactions maybe could have used more on the tombstone, but I also get why you'd go for the dead look. At the end of the day it is somebody getting dropped on their head. The flow was great throughout, but the whole thing felt a little too slow to me. And I would say a nitpick would be that when Swan took off for the 450, instead of kind of flipping straight from the second or third bounce, he kind of jumped straight up in the air, then rotated. It's kind of hard to describe what I mean, but hopefully you can see it in the video here. It looked a little weird to me that he kind of went up straight, then rotated. I don't know, that could just be me. Now moving on to the leaderboard. Fifth place we have Myqee still with 39 points. Fourth place is still LKS with 50 points. Third place is still SteakTheGuy with 77 points. Second place is still WZW Animations, but he is now on 83 points. And first place is still LMS, but he is now on 112 points. For this week, that'll do it here. I hope to get some animations of my own out this week. Of course I just had my springboard leg drop, which I think is probably my best since my Fosbury flop, I'd say. It's not, phenomenal or anything, but I've had a rough patch recently with my animations. They've just not been great. and I do think the springboard leg drop is decent. Not great, but decent. So I've got 2 animations for WAF that I need to do. I've got a Phoenix Splash reversed into a Styles Clash, which is going to be damn near impossible, and I'm against WZW, so yeah, I might be in trouble there. And what's the other one I've got to do? I think it's a suplex sit-out facebuster onto a weapon, something like that, which shouldn't be too hard, I don't think, but then I've had moves that seem kind of simple before screw me over, so we'll see. Hopefully I'll get them out this week, if not the week after. But as I said, that does it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.